Stadium, site of this year's Capital One Orange Bowl, part, of course, of the college football playoff. Hi, folks, and welcome to this highly competitive matchup, as we'll see the number 11 team in the country, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, taking on the 14th-ranked team in the land, the BYU Cougars. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler here with Kirk Herbstreit. Let's get this thing underway. Here's the return from inside the 5. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. So BYU's offense going to get the chance to start this game off. And each offense features a star tight end, Kirk. What an elite matchup of guys who can really hurt defenses in a variety of ways.
When was the last time we did a game where we were excited to watch two tight ends from opposing teams go against each other? But that's what we have today. Both of these guys are elite at their position. Both want to have bragging rights that they're the best in the country. Let's see who can be showcased better than them.
They get him down, but that's a nice play. Moves the ball to the 33.
Well, here the defense decided to sit back and play zone, and that front didn't do a good job of pressuring the quarterback. He had the time to make the throw, and he put it on target.
First down here for this offense. To throw, it's Bachmeier. Quick throw over the middle. Makes the catch downfield. Tackled, but first down.
How about the arm strength from this quarterback? He really didn't have any other option than to put it right in there and give it everything that he had. Great timing and a good job of squeezing that in between the defenders.
So the offense with the 1st and 10 now. The football placed exactly at midfield. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Fires it to the wideout. He makes the grab. Tackle made at the 36. It'll be first down. This offense in good position here.
Oh, that was close. Got just enough for the first down against that man-to-man coverage. Good awareness by the receiver to get past the sticks and move the chains.
BYU getting set with a 1st and 10 now. Back to throw again. Running out of time in the pocket. Swarmed by the pass rush. A sack.
It just looked like the quarterback was holding on to the ball a bit too long that time. Allowed the defense to be able to get the pressure, and they come up with the first sack of the game.
That sack sets up a 2nd down and long. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Catch made on the right side. Breaks a tackle into the clear. They make the tackle, but that plane moves it inside the red zone.
The quarterback was selling that he was going to throw the ball downfield, and I think the defense fell for it. Instead, he goes to the curl route, and I think it really caught this defense off guard.
And the Cougars trying to cash in here in the red zone. Caught over the middle. It's Ryan. They bring him down after a short gain there.
This is what makes the RPO so difficult to defend if you have a quarterback who can read it. It's that old argument, which guy has the chalk last? But with a quarterback that can read it like that, the quarterback has the chalk last. He reads that they're up, makes the throw in the quick slant, gets some really good yards.
The defense all over him. They stop him right at the line. They don't block the defensive end and show some quickness. Kirk getting around the edge that time.
Yeah, this guy's usually getting around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, but he reminds everybody here that this guy's a complete package. Not only can he pressure the quarterback, but also he is very, very talented and shows you the physicality he has against the run as well.
To throw, it's Bachmeier. Grab down the middle, it's Bachmeier. He's brought down at the 6. The offense will have 1st and goal right there.
Well, that's exactly how you dice up a zone coverage. Nice throw downfield here on 3rd down, and a really good route to give the quarterback a chance to make that play.
And the Cougars trying to punch it in. It's 1st and goal. He's got it near the end zone. Tackled after the completion down at the 1-yard line.
Boy, tight windows is always down here. They have trust in throwing it. You just have to be smart.
2nd down and goal upcoming. On the ground, trying to muscle it across the line. And he busts into the end zone. Touchdown, BYU.
But that's a touchdown on the board here early in the game for him. And Chris, intentional or not, look how much time they took off the clock here in the opening quarter. So not only did they get a touchdown, they took the air out of the ball as well.
And they'll set up for the PAT. PAT makes it 7-0. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And the coverage team gets him down. Not much gained on that return. So Notre Dame's offense out there for their first possession. Kurt, not often these days you see a matchup as good as this between two elite running backs, two guys with a focal point of the offense.
And talking to them this week, you know they are both hyped up to go against each other, both looking for bragging rights. Can't wait to see who ends up playing better.
Shotgun formation. Here's an inside handoff. Not much on that play, brought down short.
You know, in an era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense is countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage and not give up big run plays.
Bringing pressure. Just trying to get rid of it. Just flings it out of bounds and pass rush closing in.
Well, everybody talks about sacks, and they're very important. But sometimes just the rush, the pressure, affecting the quarterback is just as effective. He didn't have a clean throwing lane, and they forced the incompletion.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this third down. Contact as he threw it. The sure hands. It's Fields. Heads out of bounds after a solid game. And it's BYU in the lead. Let's check out the stats now through the opening period. Plenty of time for some plot twists here as we begin the second quarter. Back at it to start the quarter. Offense getting set to run a first down play. Off the play fake, looking to throw. The pocket breaking down. Oh, the pass rush gets home.
Well, you got to do a better job with your fake as the quarterback. The defense did not bite at all in the play action, allowing them to continue to come after the quarterback and come up with that sack.
Second down now after the sack. Pre-snap motion from the offense. Dropping back. It's Carr. Looks to his left and makes the completion. Oh, and he heads out of bounds after a really nice game there.
The defense is spread all over the field, creating some one-on-one matchups, and the quarterback makes them pay for it.
This Notre Dame offense is moving quickly down the field. Off the play fake on first down. Catch made along the sideline, but he's short of the sticks. Runner scoots out of bounds after gaining decent yards.
Well, it's a game of matchups. Always has been and it always will be, especially on the perimeter. And the quarterback believes his guy is better than their guy.
Important second down play coming up. Using his legs, it's Love. In the clear at the 25. Ball carrier steps out, but a solid gain on the ground that time.
Outstanding blocking on the left side of that offensive line. That's really what opened up this play. They did their job, and you can see the results. You burst open and get a big gain on the ground. If I were them, I'd keep going to that side and see how much more success they can have.
Pre-snap motion from the receiver. And they'll go right back to him on first down. Going to try to run inside, but nowhere to go.
Well, the defensive line does their job eating up those double teams, freeing up the backers to make the play.
Coming to the line on second down. This is important. They want to avoid a third and long. There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. And he'll just throw that one away to avoid what would have been a sack. They come to the line, a long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Scanning the field, it's Carr. Makes the grab, a chance to score. Brought down just short of the end zone. It'll be first and goal from the 1.
What a clutch play here by this offense to convert on third down. I know it's still early in this game, but the fact that they've dug themselves a hole to convert there and keep this drive alive, they got a new set of downs and a chance to dig into this lead.
First and goal, they'll try to run it in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. They were backed up to start the drive, but some bold play calling, great execution, and they reached the end zone.
You know, it's easy to just kind of pull your horns in and get conservative when you're pushed way back close to your own goal line, but not this offense. They came out, showed the confidence that they have in their quarterback, and it paid off. Nice touchdown.
Now the all-important extra point. And the PAT is good. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. Fields it just outside the goal line. Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. So they begin the drive here in the final 3 minutes of the half. Fire to the right side, complete. But the play loses yardage. Very tough second down coming up now.
Well, sometimes these wide receiver screens, the quarterback simply needs to play the numbers game to the outside, and he can avoid these negative plays in the future. Pretty much that simple.
So it's second down and long here from the 13. Dropping back, it's Bachmeier. Pulls it in, it's Martin. Tackle finally made. That's a very solid gain, but not close to first down yardage.
It's one of the things I love about this running back. It's not just this defense trying to defend him running the football. As you can see here early in this game, trying to get him involved in the passing game. Great call.
Drops back, needing a third down completion here. What a catch! And he's brought down, but it's a first down, spotted near the 41.
Great job by the quarterback with an accurate throw against man coverage for a first down. Overall, by the entire group, good execution by this offense.
BYU getting set with a 1st and 10 now. Here's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. That's reeled in. It's Martin. And a nice first down gain there. They get him down, but very close to the first down marker.
That's what I love about this guy. He has the ability to sneak out of the backfield. The quarterback's able to find him open, checks it down for a nice gain.
On 2nd and inches, will they be aggressive here? 3 receivers bunched to the right. Looking to throw again. Turns it loose downfield. Oh, what a grab! Finally brought down at the 7. Sets up a 1st and goal here. Now the timeout is called by the defense. They've got some things to work out here. The defense better regroup after that big gainer. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Oh, they trap him for a sack.
Well, it's a great job by this defense coming up with a big sack there on 1st and goal. The offense still has their opportunities. Let's see if they can get back on track here on 2nd and goal.
After a disastrous first down play, they're backed up on 2nd and goal. Dropping back, it's Bachmeier. Looking for his back. Finds his target, and it's complete. Now the offense will call a timeout here. Something they didn't like about what they saw there. Wanting to make an adjustment for this critical down. Look at a throw on 3rd and goal. The pass rush closing in. Can't hold on. Good defensive play. Brings up a 4th down.
Boy, what was the quarterback thinking here? You're inside the 10-yard line. You got a chance to put points up on the board. You can't just randomly throw the ball into coverage like this.
So here on 4th down, out comes the field goal team. They'll set up with a chip shot on the left hash mark. Med kick right down the middle. Can't hit it any better than that.
Well, they almost put a touchdown on the board, but instead they come away with 3 points.
They settled for 3 here, and now the kickoff. See if the opposing offense can answer before halftime. They'll return it from inside the 5. Stop at the 22. That's pretty solid coverage there. Offense out for the first play of the drive, beginning at the 22. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. He's running out of time here. He cannot escape. It's a sack.
Nothing is more gratifying for a defense to be able to sit back and play zone and still get pressure on the quarterback with your defensive front.
And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Fellas, by the looks of things, we've had one enjoyable first half in Springfield. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big, fat W. For now, let's get back to the guys in the booth to start up this second half.
Cougars will kick this away to get the second half going. He's going to return it from near the goal line. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. So here comes the Notre Dame offense back onto the field. The running game's really been held in check so far. Let's see if they can get it going or if they choose to pass and try to cut into this lead. A solid 8-yard gain brings up a 2nd and 2.
Well, this is why running the football is so important. You run the ball, and then you go play action. It affects the eyes of the safeties and the linebackers and frees up some space for the tight end to be able to pick up a nice gain.
Offense getting set up. Here's 2nd down. He'll hand it off. Running with purpose. And the senior able to make the stop after a short gain.
See, that's how you limit what an offense wants to do. This time, the defense just won the battle up front at the line of scrimmage, not giving up any big plays. Everybody's gap sound, and it's really solid defense on that play.
Offense looking to convert on 3rd and short in the 27. Caught in the backfield. It's Pauling. Tackled at the 32. That's enough for a first down.
Hey, I don't blame the defense here at all, Chris, for bringing the blitz. It's 3rd down and short. Got to get pressure on the quarterback, but you got to tip your cap to this quarterback. I think he was anticipating the blitz, so he's able to get the ball out of his hands quickly and pick up the first down.
Looking for some space. It's Love. As the first down is still going. He's brought down, but what a pickup on the ground.
There's nothing more that helps an offense than committing to that running game and popping an explosive run like this on the ground. It keeps the confidence of your offensive line up. Same with your back. It helps everything else that you're doing as an offense in your rhythm. Now you can come back with some counters, try to take some shots off of play action, and keep hammering away with that run game.
Makes the catch downfield. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a first down.
Just great timing here with this quarterback and his wide receiver to pick up this first down. And really over the years, that's what Notre Dame's looking to get back to consistently, is being able to complement what they can do by running the football and to have a quarterback that can drop back and make a throw like this and keep the sticks moving and keep his offense out of harm's way.
Grab behind the line. It's Fields.
Anytime you have a chance to get this wide receiver isolated, to get the ball in his hands, you do it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll try the ground game here. And that one produces a decent gain. Here we go, 3rd and short on the 7th play of this drive. They'll try to run for the first down. Stop right there at the line, no gain. Well, they run it right into a blitz, and that linebacker was coming downhill, Kirk.
Man, what a time to call that blitz here by the defensive coordinator. And you're right, he shoots right through that A-gap. Really, the back had nowhere to go. By the time he got the ball in his hands, the linebacker's right in his face.
Trying for a 4th down completion. He's got it, and run for a first down. Brought down, but it's past the line to gain.
Well, it's always a gamble to go for it on 4th down when you're already in field goal range, but it looks like they won't rehash this decision when it's all said and done. That's a first down.
Notre Dame getting set with a 1st and 10 now. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Fires it to the wideout. He's got it with room to run. The tackle is made, but the offense is now set up with a 1st and goal from the 8.
You know, we talked this week with the offensive coordinator about what makes this receiver so special. He kept referring to his route running. Here's an example of that. Great route, enough separation to give the quarterback a nice lane to throw the football.
Receiver makes the catch. Touchdown, Irish. And they jump on top here in the second half. So they reach the end zone after a marathon march. How about the execution on that drive, Kirk?
Well, I know a lot of times people get excited for the big plays. They're fun to watch. But what's impressive to me is an offense that can put together a long drive and then finally cap it off with a touchdown. That way you don't have to always rely on the big plays. That's a great drive.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with a PAT. The extra point is good, so it's 14-10 now. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Return starts from inside the 5. And the coverage team able to bring him down. So the drive begins here, backed up at their own 9. Play action here on first down. Grab behind the line. It's Martin. And he'll be smothered right at the line for no gain.
I can see what the quarterback's trying to do here, Chris, and he gets the completion, but just no gain. There's just no room to go after the catch.
What's the play call here on second down for this offense? Looking to throw. It's Bachmeier. Pressure is coming. They try a downfield shot. That's a good effort there. But now it's third down.
Well, they come out firing here to start this second half. They didn't make this completion, but I think it sends a clear message to this defense that the adjustments that this offense is going to make is that they're going to be aggressive and they're going to look for their one-on-one opportunities.
Offense coming to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before we reach the end of the quarter. Drops back, looking to throw for it on third down. Pump over the middle. It's Roberts. And they bring him down, but that's enough for a first down. And the clock runs down here in the third quarter. So, Kirk, as we hit the quarter break here, Notre Dame has the lead. We've reached the end of the third. Time is running out to cut into this lead. Let's check out the game stats before we go on. We're set now for the fourth quarter. Who is going to make the crucial plays to take home this W? So here we go. First play of the quarter. The offense has a first down. Caught behind the line. It's Bachmeier. He's found some room at the 45. And he runs out of bounds. That's a big gainer there.
Well, it's one thing to hear about how fast this receiver is in the scouting report. You look at him on film all week. The defense coordinator tells you, get ready, this guy can run. And then the reality comes. And this guy can fly. You see it again here. Nice catch.
This BYU offense is quickly moving down the field. And the tight end goes in motion before the snap. Grab made by the tight end. And the defense swarms, not much of a gain on that completion.
Well, we just continue to see this defense make great plays, especially with their tackling. And the awareness to understand we're in the fourth quarter, you're trying to keep this offense in bounds so they keep that clock moving.
Here's the second down play. To throw, it's Bachmeier. And that catch is hauled in. He's brought down quickly. A short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker.
Well, fourth quarter down by a couple of scores. This offense doing everything they can to not just score points, but do it in a hurry, try to preserve the clock. Here, they're tackled in bounds. They don't pick up a first down. Good job with this defense to keep that clock moving.
In the third and short, they'll try to throw for it. Grab near the sticks. It's Roberts. And they convert on third down. Move the ball to the 36.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two. And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And, man, it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, and especially on third down, get him the ball.
They get him down, but that's a solid gain.
Another positive run on 1st and 10. You know, it's early on in this drive, but this defense has not shown the ability to stop the run. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I just keep running the football until they prove they can stop it.
Second down after that run on the previous play. Quarterback still with the football. Looks like BYU will have the first down.
When we think about option plays, especially quarterback, when he keeps the ball, a lot of times it's a big explosive play, but sometimes it's just about getting what you can and keep the drive moving.
BYU getting set for the 1st and 10 now. And from the shotgun, an inside handoff. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Chris, that play just didn't have much of a chance at all from the snap. Quarterback hands this off and just nowhere to go. It's almost like the defense was anticipating the play call, and they put themselves in a position to come up with a nice tackle for a loss.
The first real speed bump of this impressive drive. Offense comes up now 2nd and 11. Looking to pass. It's Bachmeier. Quick throw, testing the middle. He's got a receiver wide open here. Touchdown, Brigham Young. And they take the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Well, this is why they love this guy so much, is when it's crunch time, he makes plays like this. What I love is the quarterback knows all I got to do is get the ball in his hands, and he can do the rest of the work and get it all the way to the end zone. Great play.
Now the crucial PAT to stretch the lead to a field goal. And the kick is good. A 3-point game now in the fourth quarter. It's all up to the defense. Kickoff team out there. They are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. And he takes this from inside the 5. He's got some daylight turning on the speed. It's a very nice return before stepping out of bounds. Puts the offense in a nice position to start the drive. The Fighting Irish offense is back on the field. Here we go. Desperation time in the final minute. Down 3. What can they come up with? Caught in the backfield. It's Love. And he's out of bounds after gaining decent yardage. Tight game. Final 2 minutes. Can the offense make a play here? And they desperately need it. Quarterback looking to pass here on second down. Grab behind the line. It's Love. Gets some space around the 30. And he makes his way out of bounds. Good thinking there. The clock is stopped.
This is why offenses drill down on the 2-minute drill year-round. You want to have quarterbacks and wide receivers completely dialed in on down and distance, and especially the clock. You got to get out of bounds when you can to preserve it. They do a really good job of that right here.
Dropping back, it's Carr. Lets it fly to the wideout. Oh, would have been a game-clinching interception. Couldn't hold on. Brings up second down.
Pretty nice catch here, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, but hands, sometimes a little questionable, as we saw here.
Here we go, trailing late in the game here. Serious urgency for this offense right now. Here's a throw underneath to the tight end. Defense shoves him out of bounds. Not much of a gain there. As the tight end flexed out into the slot, looking for a matchup there, Kirk.
Well, it is a matchup because he has the size where he's very difficult to be able to match up for his safety, and he's got the speed to be able to outrun a linebacker. That's why they like to flex him out like that and be able to pick up nice big gains like this.
Shotgun formation here on third down. Grab by the receiver. And he'll step out of bounds to stop the clock. That is perfect execution there.
Well, Chris, just like this in the fourth quarter, you're working this 2-minute drill. It's a one-possession game. Every single time you can get first downs and out of bounds. That's exactly what you do to want to move the ball down the field and eventually put it into the end zone.
On first down, it's play action. He'll try a pass here. Catch made, looking for the goal line. Tackled at the 6-yard line after the completion. Offense really threatening now.
Man, give the defense a lot of credit. You're taking away the elite receiver. That primary target forces the quarterback to find a second or third option. He gets positive yards, but anytime you can take away the big play late in the game, it's going to help you be able to secure victory.
Quarterback keeps the football. They finally stop him, but that gain is good for a first and goal.
Well, he keeps it on the option, and it's not always the big play. It's sometimes just getting the first down. Does a nice job of knowing where he needed to go. We got a new set of downs.
And now a chance to take the lead with a touchdown here. It's first and goal. Goes to his right side there for the completion. Touchdown, Notre Dame. They have taken the lead with time running down.
That is just an outstanding job by this quarterback. With the game on the line, he finds the matchup with his go-to receiver, makes a perfect throw here to the receiver, and they scored late to take the lead.
Kicking team on now for the extra point. PAT up and good. The lead is 4 here in the final quarter. So after taking the lead, they'll kick it off here and hope the defense can hold on. And here's the return from inside the 5. They'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Offense out there for the first play of this drive from the 18. Looking downfield, it's Bachmeier. Grab down the middle, it's Ryan. Tackled right at the 30, good enough to move the sticks. And the coach quickly calls timeout after the play, trying to hold on to as much time as possible. Offense needs points quickly here, trying to dial up some explosive plays. Let's see what they've got called. It's reeled in. It's Bachmeier. And a quick timeout call by the offense after the play, trying to preserve as much clock as possible. They'll get set, needing to score quickly now, looking for some big plays right here. Quarterback wants to throw it on second down. The pass is caught. Has first down yardage at the 46.
You play zone coverage and the quarterback is patient. This is a tough play to defend. Nice job of waiting for the receiver to get into the window and then making an accurate throw.
They've got to get points quickly here, looking for explosive plays right now. Looking to throw it on first down. Defense is coming after him. The offense will spend a timeout here. 25 seconds on the clock.
A really good job by this defense. The quarterback looked to be trying to work through his progressions to find his open receiver, but before he knew it, he's on his back.
Finds an open target on the left side. And smart choice, he'll step out of bounds to stop the clock. That's good execution.
Just a heads-up play by this wide receiver to recognize where the first down marker is and then to get out of bounds to save time.
BYU getting set with a 1st and 10 now. They snap it. Quarterback looking to throw the ball. Running out of time in the pocket. Can't get it away. The defense has got him. What a huge stop at this stage of the game.